Greetings, and welcome to yet another edition of the Grindhouse. We are near Halloween. The days are going by until that one of my favorite holidays. And so, given that I haven't reviewed a movie in a little while, I thought I'd get back into some parts of the horror genre. Tonight, we look at John Carpenter's opus, one of his greats. By that I mean 1982's The Thing. For those of you that don't know, of course, it's a remake of a 1950s movie, Thing from Another World. Never really saw that one, to be honest, but might be good. I don't know if I'm guessing it's on the same idea as like The Blob back in that time, except for the fact that special effects might be, could be better, could be worse, I suppose. The Blob, of course, being that gelatinous mass and all, and the Thing being something that's more like a shape-shifting type of alien. So, but anyway, getting back to the actual Carpenter version. This movie was a great film. But to be honest, I did have some trouble in some scenes. I hated the scenes with the dogs, to be honest. I don't know. I'm an animal lover, so it's kind of a hard thing for me to sit through and watch that. That was a bit brutal. But aside from that, the movie itself is great. The movie itself is the special effects in it were done by Rob Bottin, who is probably in the same vein as like Stan Winston, Kurtz Nicotero and Berger, Wayne Toth, and of course the great Tom Savini. So right away, and I kind of rank him with those guys basically. So right away, the special effects on that were very good. 1982, of course, had very little, if any, CGI at all, at least that I know of. But the movie itself, definitely a gore fest, but at the same time, also remains true to the scientific, to the sci-fi aspects of the Thing. No pun intended. But the genre itself, it's how like Alien was considered a science fiction as well as a horror movie. This movie, I'm not really sure what to put first before sci-fi versus horror. It's pretty neck and neck, to be in all honesty. The movie itself is it's a movie about isolation, really, when you delve down into it. It's no one can trust anyone. It starts off with, it's a scientific team in Antarctica, and they basically come across this Norwegian helicopter that's flying overhead in their base camp, and he's shooting at this dog. And they end up killing the Norwegian gunman. The pilot ends up getting blown up by one of the gunman's grenades or explosives. I don't really know what it was. I assume it was like some sort of... It was basically a grenade, but it looked more like a mini bottle rocket type of looking thing. So, the pilot, of course, dies. The gunman dies. And the dog is found, and he's okay. And the people who are running the scientific lab, who are also members of the team, are also played by, Keith David, Tom Waits. I don't think it was the singer Tom Waits, although I don't know. T.K. Carter, and just Wilford Brimley. He plays Blair. And overall, it's pretty much just the rest of them, and they're all trying to figure out what to do with what has just happened. So they end up going to, of course, the other camp, and they find a few bodies there, and they find that the place has basically been trashed. Fast forward a few hours later, they go and they put the dog in the kennel with the other dogs. And of course, the dog is not the dog. The dog is, of course, the thing. And of course, hence this is where everything basically, all hell breaks loose. Shit hits the fan. Whatever adjective or allegory you prefer, pretty much. Basically, everything goes fuck up. Fuck up mode, basically. So, needless to say, there's a lot of chaos, and the special effects, like I said, were very good at that point. Some gore, a little dismemberment here and there, like that one scene with the, where one of them has like a heart attack and the other guy's trying to give him a defibrillator, and of course the chest forms a mouth and bites the guy's hands off, and that was a bit, first time I saw that, I think it was like maybe, I want to say, let's see, probably 11 or 12 maybe when I first saw this film. And when I first saw it, I was like, okay, that's gory. But, I've sat through a lot of weird films, so at the time it didn't bother me all that much. Overall, I thought the movie was great. It's definitely, I have seen a lot of videos lately on YouTube where they've been showing like people watching the reaction videos, and of course the people that first see it, when they first see it, they're just looking at this like, basically, what the hell am I watching? So, that's understandable. But overall, I thought it was a good film. I thought it was definitely John Carpenter's best movie. And a lot of people are going to say Halloween, or Escape from New York, or Escape from L.A. Truthfully, I haven't seen New York yet. I did see Escape from L.A., and that was a good film. But in terms of science fiction melding with horror, this is probably his best movie. Even though people may or may not say a movie like They Live might be a better example. It's possible. I haven't really watched They Live, to be honest, either. Although, fun fact, Keith David is in both They Live and The Thing. So, that might be something to look into. I'm also wishing that they would come out with another Spawn movie. But only the HBO cartoon version, of course, because I don't know about the movie. The movie itself was, I don't think they had much to work with, given that they had a PG-13 rating. I think it kind of hurt the film and the story. But in any event, getting back to The Thing, it gets very dark in most of the film because of the fact that they are literally millions of miles from civilization. The place is trashed. The point of the film is no one trusts anyone, and Wilford Brimley's character basically goes nuts, and he ends up trashing half the place. He ends up taking out any methods of transportation, any methods of communication. It's all gone, basically. So you know that this was going to be a movie that was going to have a rather unhappy ending. You know that it also was a bit ambiguous because you really don't know who is who by the end of this movie. And I'm assuming most of you have seen it, so I'm alright with sort of giving away the ending. The ending has two people in it. You don't know who they are. You don't know if they're human. You don't really know if they're an alien, The Thing. All you know is you don't know what is going to happen, and that's how it ends. And that's how it should have ended, because there is no way to make this a happy ending type of film. There is no way to blow up the creature and then say, oh, well, everything's fine now. Humanity is safe. No. And that's the way it should be. And that's the way that Carpenter probably had it to begin with. And for that, I will give him that much in saying that that was a very good way to end the film, because it's a horror film. You don't really want there to be a happy ending in a lot of these movies, or at least in that one. So, in any event, that was the thing. Would I recommend seeing it? Yeah. Would I recommend seeing it on DVD? Probably on DVD, because you probably get I think you get like the commentary, and I think you get like some of the making of the movie and that sort of thing. No pun intended. So there is that. There is a few featurettes. There's the trailers, of course. But one good thing I did like about the movie is that, well, the ASPCA, or the Humane Society, was there to watch over the dogs, which was good. Because, like I said, that scene is a bit tough to watch. But one thing I did like also about the film was the fact that it was gory for 1982, but it wasn't what I'd call over. I've seen a lot more gory films lately, so I don't know. I guess for its time, it was probably considered shocking. Would I have seen this on the big screen if given the chance? Yeah. There's probably a lot to see on the big screen. This would definitely be a big movie to watch in theaters, if they ever decide to, reinvent that wheel. And given the situation we have now with COVID-19, who knows if that'll ever happen. But, in any event, this has been the Grindhouse. And in case I do or do not get a chance to make yet another review beforehand, I will say Happy Halloween. I'm hoping to make another review before Halloween, and I will see what will happen from there. Until then, this has been the Grindhouse. Fare thee well.